In this video, I will be turning more popular cartoon characters into Lego. If you do enjoy this video, then make sure to smash that like button as well as subscribe and turn on notifications. But with that being said, everyone, let's go. Okay, so first off, let's start with Peanuts. This is a very old cartoon show that came out in the 1950s, and it has one of the most popular cartoon characters in it, that being Charlie Brown. So I decided to make him first. So in order to make this character, it was pretty simple. All I had to do was use these short black legs. And then I ended up using, for the torso, Petunia Pigs from the Looney Tunes CMF series, mainly because it had the collars, as well as the dual molded arms. I think that looks quite good and is a pretty accurate representation for Charlie Brown. And then for his head, that was actually quite hard because he only actually has one strand of hair at the front, which is all curled up. And I don't have any Lego heads that look like that. So in the end, I ended up using this headpiece that comes from Seamus Finnegan from the Lego Harry Potter franchise. I think that it captures his worried look quite well in my opinion, and even though it's not the most accurate thing ever, I think it's definitely the best job I could have done for this character. Alright, next up we have PAW Patrol, a show about this guy called Ryder who trains a bunch of super dogs who can talk to fight crime and stuff like that. And although I never used to watch the show as a kid, it is still a very popular one. I mean, it even has its own movie. So I decided to make Ryder in Lego. So in order to recreate this character in Lego, I decided to use these dark blue legs, which are quite common. Now for the torso, he has a red and white color scheme, and the closest thing I could do was just use a plain red torso and then attach some white arms onto the sides. And I think that's probably the most accurate thing I could have done. And then for the head, I ended up using the head from the Spider-Man minifigure that came in the Marvel CMF series. As you did get two heads, you got one for Spider-Man's mask as well as one for Peter Parker. And then I ended up using this spiky hair here for the top. And then in the end, I also decided to switch out the hands as well for the flesh-colored ones, mainly because I forgot to do that before. And overall, I think it looks quite good, and I think it's probably the best representation of Ryder that I could have done in Lego. Right, next we have Futurama, a show about a guy who accidentally freezes himself and wakes up 1,000 years later. Now this show has everything. It has a guy, it has a chick with one eye, and it even has a robot who's called Blender. So in today's video, I'll be recreating Fry as well as Blender in Lego, so let's get into it. Okay, so first off, I decided to recreate Fry because he is the main character of the show. In order to do this, I used these light blue legs. And then for the torso, because he has a red jacket with a white t-shirt underneath, I ended up using this torso right here. I think that it matches perfectly to what he actually looks like in the show. And that is from Peter Parker from the Daily Bugle set. And then for the head, I ended up actually using Cedric Diggory's from Harry Potter, as well as this spiky hair, which is actually from Thor from the Infinity War sets. And overall, I think it looks quite good. I think that it's a very accurate representation of the character, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks overall. And then I also decided to make Blender, of course, and this was a very hard task to do. In the end, I ended up using this torso and legs from the Rhino minifigure that came in the 4+ Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends set. And then for the head, that was very hard to do, and it didn't turn out very good in my opinion. However, I didn't know what else to use. I ended up using the Ultron Mark 1 headpiece because I wanted to get the sort of defined mouth shape, and then I ended up using this knight helmet piece on top. Obviously, it doesn't look the best, but I didn't know what else to do. Let me know down in the comments below how you would have approached this character. Okay, next we have Rick and Morty, and if you haven't seen the show, then I'm sorry, you have no life. This is one of the most epic cartoon shows in my opinion. I think that this is definitely top up there along with regular show, which I did actually cover in my last cartoon character video. So if you haven't seen that already, then make sure to go and check that out. But today I will be recreating, of course, Rick and Morty in Lego, so let's do it. So in order to make my man Rick, I ended up using these legs right here that actually came from the Loki minifigure that appeared in the Marvel CMF series. As for the torso, I ended up using one from the Looney Tunes CMF series. This was the most accurate thing I had in my collection. I know that Rick doesn't have a tie, but I needed a torso with a lab coat, and this was by far the most accurate one I had. And I also decided to switch the hands out for the flesh colored ones. And then for the head, I ended up using Han Solo's from the Millennium Falcon set, based off the Force Awakens. And then I used this hairpiece right here that I got from Ollivander from the Diagon Alley set. However, it does appear with other minifigures as well, and is a pretty common one to find. And overall, pretty happy with how this figure turned out. And then for Morty, I ended up using these short dark blue legs. And then for the torso, I actually ended up using the Daffy Duck torso from the Looney Tunes CMF, and then switching the arms out for these dual molded ones that I got from Petunia Pig, who also appears in the Looney Tunes CMF series. And I think that it looks quite accurate to how his torso does look. And then I ended up using this worried facial expression there, which overall I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. And then for the hair, I ended up using this dark brown one, which is a quite common one you can find. I got that from the 2017 Star Wars Advent Calendar. And here we have the iconic duo in Lego. Okay, next up we have the iconic Gravity Falls that was on Disney XD. So in this video, I'm going to recreate Dipper, Mabel, as well as Stan in Lego. So let's get into it. So in order to make Dipper, I ended up using these short grey legs. And then for the torso, I ended up using this one from the Lego Harry Potter theme. It is a pretty common one to find. Lego have put it in quite a lot of the Lego Harry Potter sets. For the head, I ended up using this Draco Malfoy one. And then for the hair, if I had a preference, I would have used the hair hat combo that came from the Stranger Things Upside Down set. However, I don't have that set, so I ended up using this hairpiece that came from Knight Rider from Lego Dimensions. I think that is definitely the next best thing. However, that hair hat combo from Stranger Things would have been the preference. For Mabel, I ended up using these short dark blue legs, and then I ended up using this plain red torso with the plain red arms and white hands attached. And then for the head, I ended up using the young Hermione Granger one. And then for the hair, I ended up using the Hermione Granger hair from the Clock Tower set, the 2019 version. That came with Hermione in her Yule Ball outfit. And then for Stan, I ended up using this torso right here and legs from one of the Muppets figures, and then this head from Albus Dumbledore, because I needed a character which had a beard as well as some glasses, and this was the closest thing I had. And then for the top part, I ended up actually just giving him a red baseball cap, and overall I think it looks quite good in my opinion. Okay, next up, let's do Tom and Jerry. Okay, so for Tom, it was actually very hard to do, mainly because there weren't really too many pieces I had that were accurate to Tomcat. So in the end, I ended up using the torso and legs from Bugs Bunny, and then I ended up giving him this headpiece that came from Itchy from the Simpsons Lego set. However, the problem was I didn't actually have that piece, so I had to sort of edit a picture. And this is probably one of the most cursed Lego minifigures that I've ever seen in my life. But Jerry turned out a little bit better, so I ended up using the short tan legs, which I actually got from E.T. from Lego Dimensions, and then I used this tail from Speedy Gonzales. And then for the torso, I couldn't really find anything that was that color, so in the end I just used the E.T. torso. However, I flipped it backwards, so the back printing was at the front. I just feel like it looked a little bit better, and then obviously switched the arms around as well. And then for the head, I had no choice. I had to use the Speedy Gonzales one because I didn't have any mouse head whatsoever. And, you know, in the end, it didn't really turn out the best, but it's definitely better than Tomcat. But this is essentially just a naked version of Speedy Gonzales. Okay, lastly, we have Ben 10. Now, for those of you who do not know what this is, essentially it's about this kid who nicks a Rolex watch and is able to transform into different aliens. Now, Lego did actually release a theme for Ben 10 a while back in 2010. However, they made these dodgy buildable things and there weren't actually proper minifigures included. So in today's video, I'm going to be making a Lego Ben 10 minifigure and giving him the respect that he deserves for making all of our childhoods. So in order to make this minifigure, I used these green legs that I got from Mysterio. For the torso, I used one of the minifigures from the Friends Central Perk set because I wanted to get that strip design at the front, and that was the closest thing I had. And then for the face, I used Marty McFly's from the Lego Dimensions level pack, and then I also used Emmett's hairpiece. And overall, I think it turned out pretty good. But there we go, everyone. With that being said, this is the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, then make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the latest Lego videos from me. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite minifigure was that I made in this video, and if you would like me to make a part 3. I'll talk to you guys soon, so peace out, see you later, and bye bye.